What's up, night owls? This is the Rockstar Narrator, and tonight we're diving into something that'll make your skin crawl. Kids say the creepiest things, but what happens when those to be turned out to be true? This is the top 10 creepiest things kids have said that turns out to be true. Let's get into it. Number 10. The man in my closet told me his name. A mother in Ohio was putting her 4-year-old daughter to bed when the little girl said something chilling. "Mommy, the man in the closet told me his name." The mother's blood ran cold. She asked, "What's the man's name?" "Harold," said the girl. "He said he used to live here before the fire." The mother had never told her daughter about the house's history, but she knew the previous owner, a man named Harold, had died in a house fire in that very bedroom 15 years earlier. When she asked her daughter what Harold looked like, the girl described him perfectly, down to the burn scars. She couldn't possibly have known about him. Number 9. Grandma visits me every night. A 5-year-old boy in Texas keeps telling his parents that Grandma visits him every night. She would sit on his bed and sing him lullabies. There was just one problem. His grandmother had died 2 years before he was born. The parents thought it was just an imaginary friend, until one night the boy sang them the lullaby, word for word, note for note. It was his grandmother's favorite song, a song she wrote herself, a song that never was recorded, and that only the family knew. The boy had never heard it before, but somehow he knew every word. Number 8. The lady in the painting is sad because she misses her baby. A 3-year-old girl's visiting a museum with her parents. When she stopped in front of an old portrait, a woman from the 1800s, dressed in black, the lady is sad. She misses her baby. Her parents smiled, thinking it was just a child's imagination. But a museum curator overheard and went pale. The woman in the painting had lost her infant daughter to an illness in 1847. She had the portrait painted while in mourning, while wearing all black, as it was the customs. But there was one thing. There was no plague. No information about the woman's life. No way the little girl could have known. When they asked her how she knew, the girl said simply, "She told me." Number 7. My brother says he doesn't want to be buried. A 6-year-old boy kept telling his mother about his other brother, the one who lived in the wall. He says he doesn't want to be buried. The boy says he wants to stay in the house. The mother was disturbed, but assumed it was just a phase until they decided to renovate the house. Behind the walls of the boy's bedroom, construction workers found something horrifying. The skeleton remains of a child, approximately 6 years old. Police investigator revealed the bones were of an 80-year-old child who had gone missing in the 1940s from that very house. The boy never mentioned his other brother again after the remains were removed and properly buried. Number 6. The old man showed me where he hid the money. A 4-year-old girl told her parents that an old man visited her in her room last night. He was nice, she said. And he showed me where he hid his money. She led them to the basement, to a specific brick in the wall. Behind it, they found a metal box containing over $10,000 in old bills and a note. The note was dated 1952, written by the home's original owner, who had died in the house decades before. The little girl described the man perfectly, down to his wire-rimmed glasses and the mole on his left cheek. Details she saw in a photo that they found in the box. A photo that had been hidden in the walls for over 60 years. Number 5. My friend says there's going to be a fire. A 5-year-old boy in California kept telling his parents about the imaginary friend, Tommy. One day, he said something that made them freeze. Tommy says there's going to be a fire and we need to get the wires in the attic checked out. The parents thought it was odd, but decided to humor him. They called an electrician, and the electrician found faulty wiring in the attic that was on the verge of causing a fire. It would have burned the house down within days. When they asked the boy how Tommy knew, he said, Tommy died in a fire and doesn't want it to happen to us. They later discovered that a boy named Tommy had died in a house fire on that very property in 1978. Number 4. The baby in the ground is cold. A 3-year-old girl was playing in the backyard when she suddenly stopped and started crying. The baby in the ground is cold, she sobbed. She wants her mommy. Her parents was confused until the girl pointed at a specific spot in the corner of the yard. Against their better judgment, they called the police. A cadaver dog were brought in, and they found the remains of an infant buried approximately 30 years earlier. The case was ruled a homicide. The little girl, who couldn't possibly have known, led them directly to the grave. Number 3. A man who drowned wants his ring back. A family was on vacation at a lake house. Their 6-year-old son kept talking about a man who drowned in the lake. He wants his ring back, the boy said. It's in the water, by the big rock. His parents thought it was just a story, until the boys led them to a specific spot by a large rock at the edge of the lake. The father, a skilled diver, decided to look and found a gold wedding ring lodged between 2 rocks about 10 feet down. The ring was engraved with a name and a date. They tracked it to a man who had drowned in the lake in 1995. His body was recovered, but his ring was never found. The family returned the ring to the man's widow. She broke down crying, saying her husband always said he'd find his way to get his ring back to her. Number 2. My sister told me about the accident. A 4-year-old boy started talking about his sister. His parents were confused. He was only a child. She died before I was born, he said. In a car accident, she was wearing a blue dress. His parents went pale. They had lost a daughter in a car accident 3 years before he was born. They had never told him. But here's what made this truly terrifying. The boy described in detail of the accident, that only the parents knew the location, the time of the day, even the song that was playing on the radio. And yes, she had been wearing a blue dress. When they asked how he knew, he simply said, "She told me. She wanted you to know she's okay." Number 1, there are bodies under the house. A 7-year-old girl moved into a new house with her family. From day 1, she insisted there were bodies under the house. "They're scared," she would say. "They want to go home." Her parents dismissed it as an overactive imagination until the girl started having nightmares and refusing to sleep in her room. Finally, the parents called the police. Ground-penetrating radar was used. They found the remains of 3 people buried in a crawl space beneath the house. The case was ruled as a triple homicide from the 1970s. The little girl, who couldn't possibly have known, had been right all along. The family moved out the next day. And that's the list, Night Owls. 10 creepy things kids say that turned out to be true. If this video gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe for more terrifying countdowns. And maybe, just maybe, listen to what your kids are saying. This is the Rockstar Narrator, and I'll see you on the next one.